Sweden's Saab JAS 39 Gripen fighter jet has shown remarkable effectiveness in recent aerial combat exercises, notably dominating Chinese J-11 fighters during the Falcon Strike exercise with the Royal Thai Air Force. Utilizing advanced sensors and AIM-120 AMRAAM missiles, Gripen's achieved an impressive 88% success rate in beyond visual range engagements, downing 41 Chinese jets while losing only 9. These results underscore Gripen's robust performance in both targeting and tracking systems. Such consistent victories in simulated battles against top-tier fighters demonstrate the Gripen's prowess, enhancing its profile globally and potentially positioning it as a strong alternative to the American F-35 in export markets. Sweden is coming on strong with its military. It's a new NATO member, and its Air Force has been assigned an important air policing role around NATO's northern borders. The Saab JAS 39 Gripen has entered the conversation as one of the best 4.5 generation airplanes in the world. While it sometimes loses out to the F-35 on the export market, the Gripen is still one tough customer that places the Swedes in the upper tier when it comes to producing homegrown fighter jets. That's why the aerospace world perked up its ears last summer during a simulation that pitted the Gripen against the Chinese Air Force. This time, the JAS 39 Gripen was flown by the Royal Thai Air Force in a joint exercise with China's Shenyang J-11 aircraft that are derived from Su-27s. This drill was called Falcon Strike. The Chinese must have wished it never happened because they were dominated by Thai pilots who pushed their Gripens to their limits. The Thai aviators taught a masterclass to the Chinese about beyond visual range aerial combat. When flying beyond 18 miles, the Thai Gripens were effective against the J-11 a noteworthy 88% of the time. 41 People's Liberation Army Air Force, PLAF, fighters were shot down at a loss of only 9 Gripens. The Chinese were flummoxed, and their lack of combat experience showed. You have to give credit to the Gripen too, as it shows it is a world-class fighter jet. The United States likely watched this unfold with glee. The Americans always knew that the PLAF aviators had not fought in real combat, but they didn't know the underrated Thais could bring the fight in a simulation so effectively. The Gripens were reportedly armed with AIM-120 AMRAAMs, and that's an air-to-air missile that the Americans love. This shows the U.S. munitions may be trouble for Chinese pilots. The more likely reason for the success was the quality of the Gripen's weapons tracking and targeting system that can take on multiple enemy airplanes at once. The AMRAAM's accuracy is important here, plus its guidance system is top-notch to acquire these simulated kills. This is not the first time that Gripens have enjoyed success during battle drills. Stefan Englund, a former flight engineer with the Swedish Air Force, had much to say about Gripen combat performance in exercises. The Gripen has dominated in simulations going back to 2006. The only thing holding the Gripen back on the export market is the lack of full stealth capabilities. It seems that it dogfights well in drills and could someday give the F-35 a run for its money on the export market. Indeed, Canada is reconsidering its latest order for 88 F-35s, and the deal with the Americans for the Lightning II is under review due to Canadian distrust of the Trump administration's badgering rhetoric and tariffs. Canada could perhaps cancel the entire F-35 batch and order Gripens instead, based on their aerial exploits in simulated battles. Canada is aware of how the Americans have conducted fighter plane diplomacy with the F-35 over the years. 19 countries are a part of the global F-35 program, but the Swedes are known for biding their time and will let the results in combat simulations speak for themselves. This means the Gripen could become a top choice for more countries, and that would be just fine with Saab and the Swedish military. However, opting for JAS 39 Gripen would significantly increase logistics complexity and infrastructure costs. Ultimately, Canada's reconsideration could harm its defense capability and Arctic security, as the F-35's stealth technology uniquely meets the nation's strategic requirements against potential threats. Tensions between the U.S. and Canada over President Trump's tariffs and continuing to call Canada the 51st state have led the new Prime Minister, Mark Carney, to tell the new Defense Minister, Bill Blair, to look for alternatives to the American F-35 for future purchase and perhaps go to the Saab JAS 39 Gripen. The Royal Canadian Air Force, RCAF, is seeking to purchase 88 new fighters to replace its aging fleet of CF-18s, the local designation for the Boeing FA-18 Hornet. Ottawa had announced its preference for the F-35A in late March 2022. The contract is for $13 billion, but now that contract may be in jeopardy. At this time, the contract to purchase the F-35 remains in place, and Canada has made a legal commitment of funds for the first 16 aircraft. The Prime Minister has also asked the Minister of National Defense to work with CAF/DND, Canadian Armed Forces/Department of National Defense, to determine if the F-35 contract as it stands is the best investment for Canada. To be clear, we are not canceling the F-35 contract, but we need to do our homework given the changing environment and make sure that the contract in its current form is in the best interests of Canadians and the Canadian Armed Forces, de Casanova added. Portugal has already decided to reconsider moving on from the F-35, and now Canada may follow suit. The JAS 39 Gripen is an outstanding fourth-generation fighter aircraft that lost to the F-35 in Canada and other countries. Canada is actively looking at potential alternatives to the U.S.-built F-35 stealth fighter and will hold conversations with rival aircraft makers, Defense Minister Bill Blair said just hours after being announced as the next Canadian Defense Minister on Friday. Since Canada had already paid for the first 16 F-35s, Blair hinted that Canada could diversify the Canadian Air Force by adding European fighters so that the country's defense would not be so reliant on the United States. The most likely candidate is the JAS 39 Gripen, which the F-35 bested in the competition for the Canadian contract. While this scenario sounds feasible, it would create a logistical and organizational nightmare, significantly increasing infrastructure, training, and supply chain management costs. Sweden has offered to assemble Gripens in Canada and transfer intellectual property, something the F-35 program does not permit. International F-35 operators, except Israel, are not allowed to conduct independent test operations outside of the continental United States, CONUS, based on U.S. policy. United States government, USG, security rules and national defense policy, NDP, require that U.S. citizens perform specific functions to protect critical U.S. technology, the U.S. Air Force website says. The Gripen is considered one of the best non-stealth combat aircraft in the world. Yet Saab has largely failed to secure additional sales for its fighters, while international sales campaigns have scored no successes since Brazil joined the Gripen EF program in 2014. The F-35 is considered the most advanced aircraft in the world. It is now in service with 21 countries, including the United States, and because of its familiarity, it seamlessly integrates with NATO countries. The bottom line is that the F-35 is an actual fifth-generation multi-role aircraft with stealth capabilities. At the same time, the Gripen is still just an advanced fourth-generation fighter. A very good fourth-generation aircraft, but not a fifth-generation stealth aircraft. The F-35 is a significantly larger aircraft, but slightly slower than the Gripen. Though the JAS 39 has a more extended range than the Lightning II, each can carry a similar weapons load, although the F-35 can operate in stealth mode. If you enjoy content like this, please go ahead and like and subscribe to this video because I appreciate all your support.